Oh, you think they want you to win? No, that's the joke. That's the real punchline. They build the rules, stack the deck, and then they tell you, play fair, work hard, be patient. Meanwhile, the people at the top are laughing at you just like they laughed at me. But here's the thing. You don't have to play their game. You don't have to wait for permission. You want to change your life? Stop asking. Stop waiting. Take what's yours. Because nobody is coming to save you. Nobody is going to pull you out of the hole. You know why? Because they put you there. And the second you start climbing out, they will try to drag you back down. You ever notice how they only like you when you're weak, when you're struggling, when you're easy to control? But the moment you step up, the moment you start thinking for yourself, suddenly you're dangerous. Suddenly you're too much. Maybe it's time to be too much. Maybe it's time to stop caring what they think. Maybe it's time to become something they fear. The world is a rigged casino, and the house always wins until someone walks in and flips the whole table. You don't have to play their game, you can make your own rules. No, scratch that. You can break their rules. Because the only people who ever changed the world weren't the ones who followed the rules. They were the ones who shattered them. You've been told your whole life to be patient, to wait your turn, to stay quiet, to be good. But let me ask you, good for who? 'Cause last time I checked, being good just means being obedient. And obedience is just another word for chains. But here's the thing about chains. You don't even realize you're wearing them until you try to move, until you try to break free. And the second you do, that's when they panic. That's when they try to shut you down, keep you in line. Because if one person wakes up, what happens next? Others start waking up too, and that terrifies them. You think they're scared of you failing? No. They're scared of you realizing you don't need them, that you never did. They're scared of what happens when you stop begging for a seat at their table and build your own. They're scared of what happens when you take control of your own life. Because the second you do, you become something they can't control, and that makes you dangerous. So here's my advice. Stop waiting for permission. Stop playing by their rules. Stop being what they want you to be. You don't need their approval. You don't need their acceptance. All you need is to decide that you're done being a pawn. Decide that you're done being told what you can and cannot do. Decide to be free. And once you do that, you will never see the world the same way again. But let me tell you something else. Freedom is not easy. Freedom means risk. Freedom means struggle. It means taking punches, losing people, walking alone in the dark while the whole world calls you crazy. You think they'll celebrate you for thinking differently? No. They'll fight you for it. They'll try to silence you, to make you doubt yourself, to make you believe you need them. But you don't. The strongest people in this world weren't handed power. No one gave them a golden ticket to success. They took it. They built themselves from the ground up, brick by brick, through blood, sweat, and struggle. And if you're sitting there waiting for someone to hand you the keys to your own life, you've already lost. The ones who win aren't afraid to lose first. They aren't afraid to be hated, to be doubted, to be called a villain. Because villains change the world. They aren't the ones who sit back and play nice. They challenge the system, they force the world to bend, and they make their own fate. And here's the truth. Once you taste real freedom, once you realize you don't need their system, their approval, their permission, you'll never be the same again. You'll see the strings, the lies, the illusion of it all. And that's when the real game begins. Because then you're not just playing anymore, you're rewriting the rules. You're building something new, something better. So I'll ask you one last time. Are you ready? Are you ready to stop waiting, stop asking, stop hoping? Are you ready to take what's yours? Because if you are, then you've already won.